In a small village in the county of Marsabit, surrounded by fields and rocks, lives a boy named Chris Emmanuel. The 10-year-old loves to play in the fields and dreams of becoming a doctor. But one sunny afternoon, Emmanuel's world will change in an instant, and for the worst. While playing outside, Chris stepped on something he didn't see, a poisonous snake. In just moments, his legs swelled, he felt dizzy, scared, and helpless.
Jina yangu anaitwa Albarichai Isumbulyar na kijana yangu anaitwa Chris Emmanuel. Sasa mara ya kwanza ilikuwa nyoka ilikuwa umeume kwa msituni. Ilikuwa wanacheza tu mpira. Wakaangukia hiyo nyoka. Nyoka ilikuwa inajificha chini ya nyasi akaingia. Sasa akaumwe, sasa akakimbia nyumbani. Sasa wazee wengine walikuwa akakimbia akatafuta hiyo mahali ilikuwa wanacheza mpira, ndo akapata hiyo nyoka. Na nyoka hiyo ni cobra, hii anasimama hivi. Sasa wakaua, wakawacha tu hapo. Sasa kijana wakakuja tukafunga hapo mguu, ndo hiyo simu iende roho, tukafunga tu haraka.
A young 9-year-old boy in the prime of his childhood who was bitten by a snake and gradually started developing an infection on his leg that continued to involve the bone, a condition that we do call osteomyelitis. It caused him great disfigurement and inability to mobilize and to walk. And this occurred around about the time of October 2024. That brings this to your attention because once this case was brought to our attention and we noted that the family was unable to meet the cost and even the logistics of the specialized kind of care that this condition needed to prevent permanent disability for this child, we were able to step in as a hospital and intervene, and through a series of procedures and operations, able to salvage and support this family to be able to get their son back on feet. I do recognize the efforts that were put by the team of doctors that worked on this case over a long period, a period of about 5 months, and through a series of many surgeries to be able to restore this boy to full functionality.
We have different specialties in the hospital. In all medical fields, we have doctors from all over Africa and even beyond who admit at the Nairobi Hospital, and therefore we form a fraternity of about 600 doctors that admit at the hospital. We have this unique case that came to us of this child who was referred to us from Marsabit last year. And through the working relationship that we have with the hospital as a admitting staff association, we teamed up together and formed a team of medical specialists that were able to take care of this child conclusively, and to the extent that this child has now been able to be discharged from the hospital to go back to their families. And to mention also is that of importance, we were able to save the limb from amputation, because this child had been bitten by a snake. This has been done successfully through our hospital CSR policy, which we have in place, and we therefore do assist members of the community who are not able to access quality health care.
Word spread fast, but hope came from an unexpected place. A call to a CSR health helpline run by the Nairobi Hospital, hundreds of kilometers away from Chris' home. Through bumpy roads and fading light, Emmanuel was rushed to the Nairobi Hospital in critical condition and in a lot of pain.
Story of young Emmanuel. He makes for the most exhilarating tale that we've experienced in the hospital in the recent years. This was a collision of happenstance, luck, grit, resilience of an indomitable spirit, that is young lad Emmanuel, and the big hearts of the Nairobi Hospital and all its benefactors. This story starts somewhere in Naivasha. towards the end of last year. The Nairobi Hospital, me included, were having a workshop conference on strategy. During one of the breaks, somebody through their social media handle had this picture and video of a young lad. When it got to be, there was this lad squatting. What really stuck out was I couldn't believe my eyes. His leg bone, his tibia, the proximal tibia, the upper tibia was literally sticking out of his knee and had breached his skin. It looked brown, necrotic, almost rottenish. And I looked at the face of this boy. It was a stoic facade, he was resilient.
The ambulance transporting Emmanuel and his father would arrive at the Nairobi Hospital late in the evening to an unexpected team drawn from the hospital's accident and emergency department. This great team had spent an entire day making preparations in readiness for the arrival of Emmanuel and the father.
I'm happy to have gotten a call about this child from Marsabit, and we approached the CEO, who agreed that we bring the boy back to Nairobi and the hospital to run a CSR. And then he tasked me to try and marshal up a team that can help manage this patient. And that is how I reached out to Professor Biakika, Professor Nangole, Dr. Gituri, and the rest of the team. And they agreed to do this free of charge as a CSR, giving back to the community. And we are grateful that all this has not gone to a waste. A limb could have been lost, but with teamwork, we have been able to salvage the limb, and the child is going home with both limbs and happy to play like any other.
And I'm very happy to have been part of the team that worked with Chris to help him to be where he is. Ordinarily, Chris would have lost his limb because when he came in, it was a very bad injury, and almost half of the bone was infected and exposed. So the most easy thing would have been for it to be cut off. But because of the teamwork that Professor Biakika, myself and others put in place, we were determined to make sure that we save his limb, because he's a very young patient. He's only 10 years now, and God willingly, he'll need this limb for the rest of his life. So we felt it very, very important to have it saved. It was not easy, it was difficult. We had to do a lot of discussions and just being able to agree on what to do. But eventually, we are happy to say that with the so many procedures that we went through, we were able to salvage his limb.
For several months, Chris fought the poison in his little body, but thanks to the expert care and action by the Nairobi Hospital through its CSR program, he received free and quality care for over 6 months as an inpatient. During this period, he underwent numerous surgeries, all in an effort to correct the fractured bone on his limb, which otherwise would have been amputated.
I had a wonderful team in taking care of Chris Emmanuel. So he's a patient who came here on 9th October, early October, after a snake bite 5 months before that, that resulted in loss of skin and protruded part of his bone on the right leg. So when he came, it was very infected, and we had to remove that part of bone and clean it up. And throughout that cleaning up, we also had involvement of the plastic surgery team, where after the infection had settled, we were able to close up, flap surgery. We were able to close that area, and later on, when everything had settled and the flap had held very well, we were able to take graft from the intact part of the bone, that is the two bones on the leg. So the outer part of the bone, that is the fibula, we're able to take a bit of it and join the gap where there was bone loss, and to this point, we've been able to have healing of the two aspects, and he's able to even bear weight on the limb.
The situation was that when he came, the hospital asked us to compile a team and take care of him. And we have been doing this since October, and now we are happy to say that with the effort, concerted effort of the team, we have enabled him to have his limb back.
The Nairobi Hospital CSR program is not just about giving back. It is about saving lives. Several patients, both in urban and rural setups, have received free medical care through the initiative. This includes Chris Emmanuel.
As a hospital, we have a lot of responsibility to the society where we operate, and because of that, we normally reach out to several stakeholders and see where we can support. For particularly this case of Chris Emmanuel, it's a case from a boy from Marsabit County that came to our attention through one of our doctors, and when this was brought to the attention of the management of the hospital, we quickly reached out to bring the patient to the hospital. At the moment, we've spent more than 5 million on ensuring that the boy gets the care that he deserves, as much as he was from a disadvantaged society and he couldn't afford, but the hospital has taken care of all the bills and will continue to support him until he's well.
We are glad to see him, almost to full recovery. This is a reminder that healthcare is not just about medicine, but about humanity, compassionate, and being there for the vulnerable population. So we are glad to see Chris getting discharged today, and as the nursing team in the Nairobi Hospital, we wish him well.
I'm happy to be part of the team that has been taking care of Chris since he was received into the hospital. So my work was to make sure that we prevent infection from getting into the surgical site, that is the bone. And we have also been able to use advanced wound care products which are able to prevent infection. As all these surgeries have been done, so it has been easy for us to make sure that there is no infection to make the work successful.
Today, Chris heads back to his village, laughing, learning, and dreaming big again. One act of kindness, one program, one brave little boy. Chris' story is a reminder that with care, compassion, and commitment, even the smallest lives can be saved.
Thank you so much.
Indeed, the Nairobi Hospital, healthcare with a difference.